Oh, no, not video file. Present, share screen. Where is Photoshop? Shut off. Oh, you here. Let me use the bathroom. It's bad.
I'm fucking grits in my clothes.
This tissue stay on the screen.
Why does it sound like that? Huh? What? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's over. Oh man. I want to use the bathroom. I mean, nothing. I want to take a shower.
Really?
Yeah.
I said that you clean your room.
A little bit.
What?
A little bit.
Marcus, don't do that.
No, Mama, I'm actually serious though.
That was an hour ago. Well, I used the bathroom in another place now. Okay, let me do this recording. Okay, shh, be quiet. All right, so today we are going to work on the basic navigation, some of the basic navigations of Photoshop. So this is what Photoshop is going to look like when you open it up. Now it says your files down here. Don't worry about that because you probably won't have any files if you have never worked in Photoshop before. But as you guys know, I have. So you see some saved things that we have down there, and I'll explain that in a minute. So when you open it up, this is what Photoshop is going to look like on the left side. So let's start from below this line right here. This is the word home. So this is home. This is our home page. This is where everything will start from. This is just our blank spot, right? So with being in home, if you have some files, this is like a shortcut page. You can click on any of these files that I have below here. Okay, so that would be an option to start on maybe an old project that you wanted to finish up with that you were working on. So then we have the learn right here. We have the learn, which these are tutorials that help you out with your craft. So I'll forever say it, like Photoshop is a beast, you guys. You can do so much in Photoshop. Like it is the #1 graphic design program that you can learn. So you guys have made an awesome choice with learning Photoshop. It is no secret. I have told you guys over and over. I always continuously am feeding my brain and trying to get more familiar with everything Photoshop. So, like, I don't even think you can stop learning the different things that Photoshop has to offer. So, this is just the beginning, you guys. Just know there's a lot more to come, a lot more to go, but we're going to start with the basics. I'm just going to show you guys the basic file. So the basics to Photoshop. All right. So under here, we have the word files. So your files. So literally, this is my files right here. These are things that I just told you that I was working with. And then we have something that's just shared with you. I'm clicking on it. Nobody has shared me any cloud documents, right? So I don't even know how to use this feature, honestly, but I can only assume. So, say if you wanted to share something with somebody else, you can somehow share it through email, right, with them, and they can be able to pull it up on their computer. So, just for our tutorials, we won't be doing that. Then we have a deleted folder. This is a new computer. I do have some because I forgot it's connected to my old computer. So these are some things that I deleted a long time ago. So if I wanted to recover any of them, I can. Okay, I can recover them because they were deleted. I thought they were deleted, but they were in the cloud. Okay, they were in the cloud. So there is a couple more things. Okay, so new file. Let's talk about new file. So new file up here. We're going to click new file. 9 times out of 10, we're going to use either open or new file. Today, I'm going to show you both. So let's hit new file. So new file means exactly what it says. We're going to work on something new. So you have measured out your substrate or whatever you decide. If you're just doing like a regular design, for all t-shirt designs, I always do a 13 by 19. Always do a 13 by 19 because you can always go larger, right? But you cannot go smaller. So if you did an 8.5 by 11 and then you try to enlarge it, you might lose some pixels or lose the clarity of the photo. I always start with 13 by 19, and if they want to make it smaller, then boom, they can make it smaller. So that's when I'm doing a t-shirt or designing something for somebody else. So if you're going to sell designs or if you're doing designs for somebody else, I would definitely do it 13 by 19 if you're going to sell it, because you don't know what they're going to use those designs for. If you're doing something like a tumbler or something and you know the exact dimensions of it, you plug it in. You guys will see when I start doing my stole, I know the exact dimensions of it. So I'm going to plug those dimensions in. When I say start 13 by 19, what I mean by that is that you are going to actually be selling the designs. You're going to be selling the designs. Okay. So let's talk about that right quick. So you would put 19 in the width. I'm sorry, 13 in the width by 19. Okay, so if I did 13 by 19 here, that would be a vertical orientation. And I'm working in inches. You can work in pixels and all of that other stuff, but here in USA, we 9 times out of 10, 10 times out of 10, most of the time, we are working in inches. Okay, so 13 by 19, you want your resolution to be 300. That is the DPI, dots per inch. As you see it on the side, it says pixels and inches, okay? And just keep it on that, pixels and inches. So DPI resolution is 300. That is going to make your file very, very large when saving it. So we'll talk about some different things about that saving large files in a moment. The color mode that we want to be in, now these are defaults to Photoshop, would be the RGB color. Okay, just keep it there. Just keep it there. 8-bit, white, color profile. I just keep it right here on this. Y'all, I don't change anything. I don't change anything here. All right, because I want Photoshop to figure out. Photoshop is so smart. It like I would when I used to like design in other programs, I would design in other programs and I would bring it to Photoshop just to print. because Photoshop gives you the best colors, the best resolution. It does a really, really good job at everything. So that's how I got into Photoshop. I was just using Photoshop to print, and that's it. All right, so we got in our width, we have in our height. I would just hit create here. I would just hit create here. Now for the background, as you can see, white as my background. You can also put it on transparency. So transparent background, okay? I'm gonna hit create. I wanna show you guys. So when I hit create, that is my transparent background. Transparent background meaning a PNG file, okay? PNG file is gonna give you a transparent background. So I'm gonna go back home, the page we were just on, by hitting my little house right here. Okay, let's do it again. New file, 13 by 19, and this time I want a white background. Okay, and we're going to hit create. All right, now I have a white background. Now that I usually use a white background, okay? When you're saving it, we'll get into that step in a while down the road. But as we're saving it, we can take this white background off and make it a transparent background, okay, at any time. So I like to work on a white background because you can actually see what you're doing. If you choose transparent in the beginning, it's going to be all those little blue dots in the back, little blue squares. And it gets kind of confusing to me. And I just want to see a nice clean image. Nice clean image. So let's go back to my little house here so I can explain to you guys a couple more things on here. Up here you have a cloud. Okay, so this means it's saved. So let me double click on my cloud. So it says cloud storage. If you guys have the $9.99 photography plan, that is the link that I gave you. It says cloud storage is 9.93 gigabytes, but I have 20 gigabytes of cloud space. That is what that you have, with that plan. So you want to keep an eye on this because it looks like I'm at 50%. If you see it right here, it says 50%. So I've used 50% of my storage. So I either need to start deleting stuff or moving the stuff to the file to another drive. Okay, another drive, maybe like a terabyte hard drive, like this one right here, if you guys can see it. If you guys get you another drive, this was about 60 bucks, something like that. I might have got it on sale. But get you a drive to back up all of your files on. Even though Photoshop has these files backed up, I also have saved them onto my external hard drive. Okay, you always want to make sure that you're synced and backed up, because if you're not synced, guess what? Your stuff is not saving. Okay, your stuff is not saving. So we want to make sure that you are not going to lose your work. All right, so this little cloud is very important. And then we have the search. Y'all know if y'all click in here, it's going to do a search for you. You can search for whatever you want to search for, okay? And then explore what's new and tips for using Photoshop. So the little gift box is going to give you little tips, okay? Then you have the little blue circle right here. And the blue circle is just taking me to the internet. I'm sitting up here like, I've never seen that blue circle before. Duh. It's taking me to the then we have a filter. I mean, that stuff right there is self-explanatory, but now you have the gist of what this page is about. Okay, now the word open. This is to open something up. So you guys know before, what did we do? We hit a new file. Let me go back here. We went to new file and we have this page that comes up, right? And let's say we are making a 8.5 by 11. Okay, so I'm going to click this. This is recent, so it's remembering what I've done in the past. So it has 8.5 by 11 on there, or you can just type 8.5 by 11, however you want, or 11 by 8.5. You can title this, okay? Because it's going to save it for you like it saved everything. So say if you have a tumbler that you always do. Actually, this is a tumbler one right here because I know the size. So what if I put straight tumbler, okay? And I hit create. It's going to save this as straight tumbler. The next time I open it up, it's not going to say custom. It's going to say straight tumbler, because it has now saved the word straight tumbler. So boom, I'm going to say, what was that size again? Up, it's right there. It's straight tumbler. I don't name my presets, but I mean, it's there. You can. Okay. So I'm going to close this. And instead of hitting new file this time, we're going to hit the word open. And what the word open is going to do is just going to open something that you had been working on. Nothing. Let me see. This is a grad store. So I'm just going to open. Let me just open this. Okay. So this is just going to open something that I was previously working on. This is just open. Done anything. There's nothing fancy to it. I just opened the file. That's it. All right. All right. So that is it. I'm going to close these. Now, if you close these down, close, and I'm going to close this document right here. And then this is my transparency background document. I'm going to close that. Okay. So open just opens the file. New file gives you a blank canvas in the size that you want. Okay. All right. So you guys can just you will not be great in Photoshop until you learn how to navigate this area. One of my downfalls is I just thought that I was just going to get in here and just start moving things around. And I was getting frustrated. I was getting annoyed because I didn't know all of these different functions. And then I was in all of these Photoshop classes. Excuse me. And people were not teaching me the correct way. They were not teaching me the beginner way. So I will be teaching you guys the beginner way. I'm going to go as slow as I can. So you'll be able to navigate Photoshop. If you cannot navigate Photoshop, if you do not go through all of these fundamentals that I have set up for you, you will be lost. You will be asking a million questions because you won't be able to, and you'll be like, oh, Shannon, I'm stuck. I can't get past this part. I can't get past that part. And whereas I don't mind helping you out, but I also want you to be able to understand. So I have put certain things in your I put these things in your dashboard for a reason, so you'll be able to take your designs to the next level, so we can, be able to win together. So you'll be able to be lucrative and make that money. So take the time and go through the dashboard of all of these fundamentals, because it's vital. It is actually vital. Okay. All right. So I am going to open up I'm just going to open up an image. Well, I can open up one of these images, okay? I can open up one of these images down here. This is one of my daughter. It was an old one. I just double clicked it. And I have to hit restore right up here because I forgot it's in the deleted folder. Duh, it's not in the your files, but I just hit restore. So it's restoring. Okay. Okay. Kyle! Hey! Hey! I just had to cut my recording off. Your whole doggone voice is coming all the way up here. Now I'm going to have to edit my video. Jeez. All right, so now I'm in your files, and I'm just going to double click this, and we're just going to restore something that was recovered yesterday because it shut down on me. So we're just going to open this up, and it's taking a minute to come on up here. This is a senior shirt that I was playing with on live. I don't know if some of you guys may have seen me doing some things. Sometimes these Photoshop files, and because this one was recovered, hopefully it is okay. And it's not damaged or anything like that. So it's just taking a minute to load. It has a lot of layers on the right-hand side because I was just doing a lot of different things. So I was building layers. As you build your design, you're building layers. So I had quite a few layers on the side. So we're going to be talking about the zoom. Okay, so the zoom button is one of the things that basic navigation tools. Okay. All right. So talking about the zooming in and out. You see this magnifying glass down here? We're going to hit that zoom tool. And once I hit that zoom tool up here at the top, you see the minus and the plus. So if we hit the plus, we click the plus, and then we touch somewhere on the canvas, it's going to come in. Okay. And then we hit the minus button right here, and we click on the canvas, it's going to move farther out. Okay, so there's something up here called scrubby zoom. Let's check that. Let's check the scrubby zoom. And what happens is when it's checked, let's hold it. When it's checked, I can kind of like move in, right? And zoom in on something and move out. And I'm just holding it this way, holding it that way. So at that point, it doesn't matter if I'm on plus or minus because I'm just kind of like moving it back. So when I uncheck the box, I'm going to click it and it's just going to move out. And then I have to click the plus button here to move in. Okay. So it just is it's up to you on what you want. If you want the scrubby zoom, I like the scrubby zoom to be checked. But a lot of times I just use my doggone keyboard where I hit control and I'm hitting the plus, control plus, and I hit control minus, control minus. So I'm holding the control button down and I'm hitting the plus and the minus on my keyboard. So you guys, I just told you guys 3 different ways to do the same thing. The same thing. It means the same thing. All right, so now we are going to adjust a dark photo. So let's adjust a dark photo. I'm reading my notes, different things that I want to show you guys how to do. So, let's find a dark photo, and I want to hit open. And I want to go on my desktop and let me see if I can go on here and find a dark photo. Let's see if I can find a photo of somebody. So my friend, we'll use my mother-in-law. We'll use her. Okay, I'm just gonna hit open. She's passed on, right? So this is a photo that I want, and I've already enhanced this one, but it's okay. I'll still show you how to do it, okay? So first of all, we don't want to mess with this photo. So say our customer gave us this photo. This is the most used function that I think that you will do. When people want stuff done, the first thing that they're going to do is to give you a photo. Okay. And when they give you that photo, it's going to more than likely be dark. It's going to be cloudy. Sometimes it's cloudy, but it's going to be dark. Like the lighting is not going to be it because sometimes it's a screenshot from a screenshot from a screenshot. Okay. So what we want to do is we want to keep their original. And as you see, like this original has like a lock button on it. You can turn the lock off just by clicking it, and then you've unlocked that layer. But y'all just keep it locked, okay? Because then you won't be able to throw the photo away or delete it or do anything bad to it. But to protect this photo that they just brought in, we are not going to actually work on this particular layer. We are going to work on another layer. It's called a duplicate layer. So we're going to duplicate this photo, okay? And we're going to work on that duplicate photo. So what we're going to do is we're going to take it, and I want you guys to do this with me. So you guys can go get a photo, okay? And open it, and you guys can do this exact same steps, okay? So we're going to grab our photo and we're going to bring it down to the plus sign right here. Boom. And we're going to release our mouse. And at the top, it'll say layer 0 because we're working with layer 0, copy. Okay. So all we did is we created a layer, a duplicate layer of this. Now, sometimes people have difficulties pulling that layer sign and actually the layer a duplicate layer. What you can do is you can right click on it and just hit duplicate layer right, and it's going to say, you're going to say, okay. Okay. So now I actually have 3 layers. I have 3 layers. Okay. So let me delete this one. Oh, it won't even let me delete it, y'all. Y'all know why I can't delete it? It's because this lock is on here. So you can just lock and it will come off. So I didn't, uh-oh, hit the wrong button. My phone is going off. All right. So now I can delete it because I took the lock off. There you go. All right. So now I have layer 0 and I have copy of layer 0. All right. So that's all we want to do. If you need to take the lock off, you can also go up here and take the lock off by clicking it on and off, on and off. Okay. So now that we have our lock on the original, the copy, we want to take the lock off because we want to do some changes to this photo. But we're only going to do changes to the copy layer and not the actual photo. Okay. All right. So here we go. Make sure you're clicked on layer 0, which is the copy layer. Okay. That's the one that we're changing. So we're going to come down to this half circle down here and let's click it. Okay, so there's a plethora of things that we can do right now with this copy layer, and you can kind of play with the different things on a later time because just play with it. That is another thing for Photoshop. Just play with stuff. But when you play with stuff, make a duplicate layer so then you can't mess up your original copy, right? So you make the duplicate layer, don't mess up your original. I'm going to go to brightness and contrast. It brings up this properties menu right here on the right hand side, and I am going to I'm going to make it darker. It's already, I'm just going to figure it out. Just make it whatever you want it to be. You can fix the dark, the contrast, you can do the brightness, however, but say I want her to be about right there. Okay. So that's it. And what is it done? Okay, so look at it. We have the regular layer that's locked, and then we have our copy, right? And then on top of the copy, when we just messed with it and made that brightness and contrast, it made something called an adjustment layer. What is an adjustment layer? An adjustment layer is a layer on top of the layer that we're on, and it's adjusting it, right? So the adjustment layer is adjusting the layer that you had under it. Okay. So if we turn this eyeball off, it's going to go back to the regular color it was on. That's our adjustment layer. And back on. These are the stuff that we made the changes to, right? So you can actually turn the eyeball off of this one now, right? which is the original. And if that makes it go away. So this is our original right here. Turn it off. And this is our copy of the original. Adjusted. Well, this is not adjusted, and this is adjusted. Okay, so hopefully that makes some sense to you. So let's go over to the foreground and the background colors. Okay, so those are right here. Okay, so they default to black on the top for the foreground and on the bottom white. Okay, so if you always see them and they have different colors in here, this is all you have to do is hit this button right here and it will reset it back to the foreground being black on the top and the background being white on the bottom. Okay, you can also hit this toggle button to toggle them back and forth. Okay, so let's kind of play with the colors. Okay, so right now let's hit this black. Okay, and it tells you color picker foreground color. I'm gonna hit cancel. Let's hit the white. It says color picker background color. Okay, I'm gonna click OK. I want to mess with the foreground. Okay, so I'm gonna hit the foreground and it brings up this little color picker, what do you call that, like eyedropper. And say I want to take the color out of maybe the gold color out of this stripe, maybe the peach, maybe my design, I want to match something here in her earrings. Maybe I want to match her hair. You know, maybe I want to match her skin tone. You know, so you can literally take this color dropper, color picker, and change it to whatever you want. I'm going to take this dark color in her earrings and I'm going to click OK. Okay, so now my foreground color has become the color of her earrings. Okay, and we can do the background the same way. Okay, so now we're on our background and say I want to take the peach out of her dress. So it's like an off-white almost. Okay, if you can move it around, you can move it around from here too, so you can kind of stay in the same color color palette, if you may. Or you can just use this. Okay, but I don't like that color. I need it to be a little bit darker. Okay, so I'm just going to move it and I'm going to click OK. So as you see, my foreground and my background are now the color that I chose. Okay, so now when I make my design, I can make them to match that color. For instance, I'm going to use the paintbrush, the paint bucket tool. Okay, and I know right now, because of this X right here, I have to be on a layer. I'm not on a layer at all. It's going to tell me I'm not on a layer, but let's choose and see. So I clicked it and it says could not use the paint bucket because no layers are selected. So you always want to make sure that you are clicked on the layer that you want to manipulate or you want to change, right? So I am on layer 0 right here. This is my copy layer, y'all remember. Okay, so I'm going to click it up. It changed the color of her outfit, right? And what happens if I toggled it back and forth? So now my foreground is on the top. I'm going to click up here. Up, it's changing the color right here. Okay, so it literally will colorize whatever you're doing to that color. I know this looks kind of funny, but I'm just kind of giving you an example. And say if you mess this up, look, I have the original. I have the original, so you don't have to worry about that. Okay, and the original, the adjustment layer is on the original too, if you can see that. But the point of having the duplicate is so you don't ruin the original picture with anything that you do. Okay, so hopefully that was helpful for you guys, and I will see you guys in the next video. And make sure you're staying busy as a bee.